Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today, we're making schnitzel. Now this is a fried chicken dish that uses thin slices of meat and packs a ton of flavor. So, let's get started. Alright, so for this recipe, we're going to need 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. That's about 2 large breasts, and I've sliced them into 5 thinly sliced pieces. Then we're also going to need 2 large eggs, half a cup of flour, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and I'm using matzo meal for this, 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of salt plus some additional to taste, some black pepper seasoning plus some additional to taste, and some vegetable oil for frying. And optionally, you can use 2 teaspoons of buttermilk and some fresh lemon wedges for garnish. So to get things started, we're going to season each chicken breast with a thin layer of salt and pepper on both sides. And we want to press that seasoning into the flesh of the chicken. And I noticed in many grocery stores you have the option of buying thinly sliced chicken breasts, but if you can't find that option, you can always buy whole chicken breasts and thinly slice them. So what you'd want to do is remove the fat or any attached tenderloins and tendons from the chicken breast, and then you want to slice carefully horizontally into the thickest round edge of the chicken breast to split the breast down the middle. And you'll end up having 4 to 5 slices of chicken breast, depending on the relative size of each chicken, and possibly a couple of tenderloins too for frying. And to flatten the chicken breasts, you can just put them into their own separate Ziploc bags, and you can use the flat side of a tenderizer to pound the breasts until they're all about equal thickness, roughly 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick throughout. And while you prepare the chicken, you can go ahead and start pouring in the oil into a deep skillet, pan, or deep fryer until it's deep enough to fry the chicken breasts. And you want to heat this oil slowly over medium heat, which is about 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. So back to the chicken. We want to place the chicken on a plate and set it aside for now. You want to set up 3 bowls or dishes and a large empty plate for the coating process. So in the first bowl, we're going to whisk together the 2 eggs with the 2 teaspoons of buttermilk. And if you don't want to use buttermilk, you can substitute that with 2 teaspoons of water instead. You just want to give this a nice mix until the eggs and the milk are thoroughly combined and become your egg wash. In your second bowl, you just want to add in the flour. And for the third bowl, we want to mix in the breadcrumbs, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, paprika, and sesame seeds. And you just want to give this a nice whisk until all the ingredients are well distributed. And these are going to be the 3 bowls you use for the coating process of the schnitzel. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my next video drops. And stay tuned to the end of this video for a sneak peek of the recipe coming next week. So the coating process has an order that you have to follow each time, otherwise the breading won't come out the way you wanted, and the schnitzel won't be as tasty as we know it can be. So we want to first start by dipping the chicken breast into the flour bowl. And you want to get a nice, even, thin coat of flour on all edges and sides of that chicken breast. And once that's thoroughly coated, second, we want to dip the floured breast into the egg wash until it's well coated as well. And finally, we want to place the egg-covered breast into the bowl of the breadcrumb mixture. And we want to coat the breast evenly with the breadcrumbs on all of its sides as well. And we're going to repeat this process for the remaining chicken pieces as well. And if you have some extra tenderloins with your chicken breasts, you can go ahead and repeat the same coating process with those too. And a big tip for the coating process, I find it easier to have one hand designated for dipping in the dry bowls and then one hand for dipping in the egg wash. This way you avoid creating a mess in the coating process. And alternatively, you can always use some powder-free nitrile gloves to help with the coating process. making it much easier for each ingredient in the bowls to not stick to your fingers. But take your time in the coating process. It's really important to get a nice even coat of each of the bowls onto each of the chicken breast slices. Especially the last breadcrumb mixture coat. We want that nice even coating for the deep frying process. So now the oil should be at our 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius temperature. And the oil itself should be below its boiling point and not smoking. And we always want to test the oil with a smaller piece of the chicken breast to start. And so we're going to fry the breasts one at a time until they're all golden brown on each side. And that should take about 2 to 3 minutes of frying on each side, or if there's enough oil to fully submerge the chicken entirely, like you see in my deep fryer, it'll take about 2 minutes and 30 seconds total for each breast. Can't you just taste all that fried goodness through the screen? Schnitzel is so good, and I can't wait for you guys to try this recipe. So all we have to do is repeat the process for the remaining 4 chicken breast slices, frying each one at a time. And that's important just to make sure that we don't bring the oil's temperature down, otherwise the chicken will become very greasy. So after frying each, we want to set the schnitzels on a paper towel lined drying rack to drain any excess oil. And at this point we can always sprinkle on some additional salt and sesame seeds to each schnitzel, to our own personal taste. So let's slice into one and see how we did. So as we can see, the chicken is perfectly cooked on the inside, and the breading is this beautiful crust that really complements the dish. It's a nice light crust that is packed with so many different layers of flavor. So with schnitzel, what I like to do is to dice 1 or 2 lemons into a few wedges and serve this with the hot, fresh schnitzel. And just like that, you've made your very own schnitzel. German word for slice. This chicken dish is very tasty, and the breading has the best crunch to it. So I was first introduced to this dish by my best friend's mom, who's a great chef in her own right, and once I tried it myself, I begged her to teach me how to make it too. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine, Volume 1, Finding Your Inner Chef, and that's available on Amazon, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that in the description box. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my next video drops. And stay tuned for a perfect recipe to pair with this schnitzel, my Mediterranean salad. It's so fresh, healthy, and delicious. Well, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine, and until then, peace.